Welcome to the NNN show, the Nintendo Ninja News show. I'm your host, Chris Isis, and this is Nintendo Ninja News, our little show about talking about life and thoughts and opinions about Nintendo, sort of all mixed in together. Now, before we start off the show, I do want to acknowledge one of our viewers, one of the viewers who watches Nintendo Ninja News, who I knew in Canberra, has passed away from a long battle from mental illnesses. It was sort of announced on Facebook by her mum, and I knew her for a few years, and we chatted a lot about Nintendo and Pokemon and things like that, and it was good to chat to someone, I think, who sort of shared the joy of Nintendo and things like that, but also some of the issues of mental illness and things like that. And I think I remembered it was a birthday or Christmas that she made this little Pokemon ball magnet, which I thought was really, really cool. And it's actually on the shelf in the background with all the other stuff. You know, I added it to the collection. And it was very sad to hear about her passing. And yes, it's never good when these things happen. And it was very nice to know her and to be a little part of her life. And that I'm sure a lot of people are having a tough time, and our thoughts are with her family and friends. So we shall put this back up on the shelf later on in future videos and stuff for that. So, moving on to some happy news. I got given this very nice mug, and this little guy's called Bruce apparently, and it was done by a child in childcare, and it was like a little toy thing, and I think she sort of, and the parents made this nice little mug for us educators. It was very, very nice, and I was very honoured to get it. And the little girl is now off to wherever she goes now, and it came in a nice box, and it even got bubble wrap with it too. I think I'm just excited about the bubble wrap. Just, woo! Oh. Just wanted to get that out. So there you go. So yes, I'll have a little bit of a drink out of it first. So yeah, I don't get too many gifts from the little children because I work in childcare education. So for those wondering what's my actual real job, Chris, instead of talking about Nintendo. So very nice little mug. So there you go. Oh. And there's Whisk too, right there in the corner. Hello, Whisk. There you go. So apart from that little bit of sad news and we'll post links to Lifeline and things like that. If anyone does need to have a bit of a chat about mental illness and things like that, we can put a couple numbers and online stuff in the descriptions for you. And the good news about getting mug. And I've gone back to, obviously you've seen that the mic is back and the webcam's back, and we wanted to do sort of go back to the basics. We tried the big TV in this room, we tried the webcam, the video recorder, but I felt like making videos was a little difficult, a little hard at times, and I felt that this is probably the easiest setup for us, and the video recorder has had a lot of work, a lot of exercise, 2 or 3 little movies, went to GammaCon, went to the Lego Brick Expo, and I think that might be it for this year. We might do something at Floria, which is like a flower festival, things like that. So I'm not too sure about that. Now, getting on to actually Nintendo stuff. I've had a couple of reviews, people sending me games and that. We've sort of asked for a couple of requests. And oddly enough, they've actually said yes. Normally, we're used to rejections. So the first game is Ironcast, which is a newer game that I got to review. So I'll have a look into that. It looks like a very interesting game. And the other one that we did was the former .8, which is a very cool game. I would recommend you buying it. And I kept on calling it Form because I used to run form boards. So just that little trickery spelling. So, but yeah, I've had fun doing little reviews of games and things like that. And that's been good fun. And that's been an interesting thing to do too. I like to do more book reviews and stuff like that later on. Continuing to do different Pokemon books and things like that. So I think for the rest of the year, I think September, at the end of it, I think I'll try to get Metroid, Samus Returns, which would be a lot of fun. I have been playing with my 3DS again, so it's been good to get back into it, but and been doing that. I noticed the graphics update, the differences between this and the Switch, and you go back to Mario Kart 7 compared to what you can play on the Switch, and it's just like, oh, yeah, there's a big jump. So I was not used to it, yeah. But apart from that, September will be there. October, I will be Mario Odyssey, so we'll be talking about that. And then November will be Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. There hasn't been too much buzz to it compared to Sun and Moon. It's a bit like a sequel. Games are not quite as popular as the originals, but that's okay. And somewhere around there was a rumor that Skyrim was going to drop on October the 23rd, but to be honest, I don't think it makes any sense because that falls on a Monday. So normally in Australia, stuff gets released on a Thursday or Friday, or maybe even a Saturday, for some Nintendo games and releases and that. So I'm not too sure if that makes any sense, that date. If it was around the 26th or 27th, I would have gone okay. But hopefully we get Skyrim in the next couple of months or so, probably October, November, crossing fingers. And then December, somewhere between there is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that's coming up. And that's a game that I've been looking forward to, which has been great. We're just going to quickly open up the eShop on what games are actually turning up. So, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is interesting. I played a demo of Monster Hunter Stories. That looks like a great game. I actually have no idea it's been released or not. Don't think it has quite yet. I could be completely wrong, so do complain to me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. But the coming soon games that I'm just getting up now, Minecraft Story Mode looks interesting. Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle looks like a great game. I don't think I'll get it because of budget restraints. There's a lot of great indie games. League of Evil looks interesting. Lego Worlds, very curious to see how that plays. The Bridge looks like a cool game artistically. The Burning of Isaac Afterbirth is there. Rayman Legends, September the 12th, which is pretty soon. That could be the best platform to get on it. Poketech Tournament DX looks great on the Switch and plays very well. I played a bit wonky. There is a free demo, but it is a bit limited. Only limited to 15 matches and 3 different Pokemon that you can choose from. So a bit disappointing there. Super Mario Odyssey, obviously 27th of October. The Xenoblade Chronicles 2, no set date for that. Fire Emblem Warriors is coming out, I believe, around October the 20th now, which is my birthday. So that would be a nice gift to myself. I do like the limited edition. If it was a normal Fire Emblem game, I probably would have said no because I'm not a fan of the series. That's okay. But because it's a Warriors game, it's a hack and slash version, I might get into it. It might help me understand a bit of the storyline of the Fire Emblem characters and all that sort of thing. It would be fun to play. And plus it's got the limited edition has a 3 CD soundtrack, which looks fantastic. So I was kind of tempted to do an unboxing of that. So it looks all great. and the Switch is doing well, sales-wise. There was some finascos about, probably a lot, on the Super Nintendo Mini Classic, which they're having problems with pre-orders, and it seems once again that Nintendo's doing the same stuff they were pulling last year. So that's disappointing to see that Nintendo has not particularly learnt their lessons from last year, which is a shame. And hopefully they can get things together in that area. So apart from that, life is all right. Life is continuing to do well. It's nice to be back behind the mic and sort of, we had that 2-week break, and then we came back with the whole video recorder webcam sort of set up using that sort of setup. And I think it was fun doing some up there, and I think we might do some every now and again. But I think the webcam and the microphone is just easier for myself. I'm happy with the setup. People were always happy about that sort of stuff. And you get to see Whisk running around in the background every now and again too. So, and plus, who knows, if I ever need to move from this place or from this housing, I might only get a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, so things might shake up then. But that's a couple years in the future. And we'll see if the channel's still around then. So it'd be very, very interesting. Where is Whisk? Here we go. Assuming that we've talked about everything. Oh, here he is. Oh, it's been a while since people have seen him. So, yes, it's been an up and down week, I would say. And it's going to be interesting times to see how all these big games are coming out for the Switch, and the 3DS is definitely still there with Metroid and Pokemon in the next few months. So that's going to be exciting for 3DS owners, a taste of Metroid. And that would kind of complete the 3DS in terms of all the different games that you could get. There's even a Metroid game there. Maybe if they did F-Zero or Advance Wars, that would have just had all the best games on it. So I guess that's one area that the Nintendo Switch will find quite difficult for now, and even the medium-term future, is trying to get a library as impressive as the Nintendo 3DS. But don't worry, 3DS had a pretty rough beginning too. Far worse than the Switch. The first 6 or 12 months was a struggle until the release of Mario Kart 7 and Super Mario 3D Land that saved the 3DS, and it's just gone up and up and up. So, that's it for a long NNN show. Just lots of little things to explain and things like that, and different topics to talk about. So, that is it from me, and I shall see you next time on Nintendo Ninja News.